good, Nick.
Making it as great as possible, no?
It's wobbling. When it wobbles, it wobbles.
I'm not got a gyroscopic arm, you.
As you can tell, Nick Smith and I have been traveling together for a couple of days now. We went up to Coimbra, as you saw last week, and now we're heading down to Nazare, where the big waves, and it's not just big waves. I mean, there's a lot more to Nazare than just big days. So let's find out what's going on in this gorgeous little seaside fishing village. So it took us about 1 hour and 15 minutes to drive down from Coimbra to Nazare, passing the wonderful town of Leiria. And I spent some time there ages ago with my daughter on our wonderful tour of Portugal. Check out the video. I'll leave it in the cards. I'll also show you the other surrounding towns in a second, but this slice in the ocean floor is responsible for the biggest known waves in the world. I'll tell you the story of how these were made popular in a bit, but for now, just notice this huge underwater canyon, almost 1 kilometer deep in places. Now, Nazare is situated in central Portugal, and as you may know, I have divided up Portugal into 5 sections. Throughout 2025, I'm making 10 videos per section in the part of this Portugal Unlocked project. But if you live in one of these sections, or there's a place that you'd love me to film, please leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd really love to hear it, and I'm looking for people to interact with me. It'd be great fun. So, okay, progress update is as follows. I've filmed 8 videos. I've published 3. I'm currently editing 5 at the moment, and I have planned 4 more for early March. All right, back to Nazare, and these are the surrounding towns. So some of the most important towns nearby is Leiria, which is about 54,000 people, Figueira da Foz, which is a bit further away, about 30,000 people, Caldas da Rainha, 28,000 people, a little bit further south, and then Torres Vedras, even further south, at 19,000 people. A branch away into the east on the Tejo is 18,000 people. Tomar, fantastically historical site, a little bit closer, is 15,000. Peniche, about 14,000, centre of surfing. And Marinha Grande, up to the north next to Leiria, is about 10,000 people. Now, some of the larger towns, Coimbra, which we just come from, is about 107,000 people, or between 107 and 120,000 people. And the greater Lisbon area, obviously further to the south, is 2.8 million people. So hopefully that'll give you an idea of what's around Nazare. Nazare itself is actually about 10,000 people living in it. So there you have it. It's a nice spot, but we're a little bit late for lunch. It's like 2:10 and they normally close at 2:30, so I imagine there might have been a few people here, but it seems like it's pretty empty the whole day. Yeah. So we seem to find yourself with a face full of food at another restaurant. Mm-hmm. Where are we at, bro?
We're in a place called Tia Kaya in Nazare. How about that? Where the big waves are.
That sounds fun. Let's go and have a look at some big waves in a minute. But yeah, why is it called Nazare, Nick?
Excuse me while I chew. Supposedly, there's a statue here that was brought all the way from Nazareth.
Oh, go on, pour me a glass as well.
In Israel, not Jerusalem. Jerusalem's another town. So, I work on my geography.
So while Nick and I mooch around this freezing point, let me tell you the story of how Garrett McNamara discovered Nazare. Now, the story of how Nazare went from a quiet fishing town to a big wave surfing capital revolves around Garrett McNamara. Now, the pivotal moment for Nazare came in 2010 when Portuguese officials invited McNamara to explore the town's waves as a part of a project aimed at boosting tourism. Locals had long observed the massive waves, but they had never been formally surfed or recognized internationally. Now that's what it says, but I remember seeing, a lot of, because there's obviously been a lot of content created on TV about Garrett McNamara and these big waves. And he said that he just, got a call from a mate. And when he first saw Nazare, he was just blown away. Because the waves were unlike anything he had seen before. They were consistently huge, powerful, and seemingly rideable. He was from, I'm not sure exactly where he was from, but he's living in Hawaii and he surfed that stuff all the time. And at that time, everybody thought that Hawaiian waves were the biggest in the world. With the help of a dedicated tow-in team and the support of locals, he began testing the waves, gauging their intensity and preparing for something unprecedented. So in 2011, on November the 1st, McNamara rode what was then believed to be the largest wave ever surfed, estimated at 78 feet high or 24 meters. The moment was captured on film and the footage went viral, catapulting Nazare into the global stage. And I remember seeing this on YouTube and I was like, I'd been there about a year before, just having coffee on top of the point where we are now. And I was like, wow, I don't know. I couldn't believe that this is like the biggest wave in the world. It was just amazing. So no wonder the footage went viral. And this achievement earned McNamara a Guinness World Record and turned Nazare into a must-visit location for big wave surfers. So now every season, the WSL, which is the World Surf League, hold their big wave contest from November all the way through to, I think it's about March. And the place is packed with people, and there's parking everywhere, and we had to just pay a couple of euros to go and park on a hill, which is normally free. But anyway, it's good. It's providing a bit of revenue for the locals, and it does help location, because this Guinness World Record ride really put the town on the map, drawing extreme athletes, photographers and tourists eager to witness the colossal waves firsthand every single year. And generally November is a good time to go. I remember right in the beginning, one of the most terrifying moments was when I was actually watching TV, Portuguese news, and Maya Gabeira, who's this lovely Brazilian woman, was surfing her wave, and she tripped or something happened, but she fell halfway down the face, and she broke her ankle, and then she just went obviously severe pain, went underneath the wave, which was absolutely munched by the wave, and she came up and she was semi-conscious, and they had to drag her. Eventually they dragged her to the beach, and they managed to resuscitate her. But seeing her lying face down in pounding surf on Portugal news was just chilling. So this thing isn't fun. It's like a seriously dangerous endeavor. Wow, that was heavy. But she went on to survive and did very, very well in her career, and she's still around today. You can follow her on Instagram if you want. But now, Nazare was, as Nick mentioned earlier, is called Nazare because of this wooden statue that was carved in Nazareth in somewhere around 350 AD, and it was brought to a town called Mérida in Spain in the 4th century. And then when the Moors invaded the Iberian Peninsula, a monk called Roderick brought it to Nazare, and he found refuge in a little cave high on top of the plateau above Nazare. And it remained there, secret, for centuries. To be honest, this story is a little bit sketchy. It's got quite a few holes, but then again, it's a legend. So, as I said, the statue had been hidden for over 400 years until Dom Fuas Rupinho's hunting accident in 1182. Now, as the story goes, he was chasing a deer on horseback on top of these cliffs right here when he suddenly found himself galloping towards the edge. And in desperation, he invoked Our Lady of Nazare, which hadn't been found yet, so I don't know how that worked. And his horse miraculously stopped just in time, saving him from falling to his death. And apparently the deer just disappeared in a cloud. Now, after the miracle, which everyone obviously called this a miracle, Dom Fuas ordered the excavation of the grotto where the statue was found, alongside an ancient parchment detailing its origins. To honor the Virgin Mary, he built the Ermida de Memoria, or the Hermitage of Memory, at the site, making the official rediscovery of the sacred statue. Now, it's become quite a sacred spot, and people do pilgrimages every year to this place. And the statue now is right here, and it's housed in the sanctuary of Our Lady of Nazare, or the Santuario de Nossa Senhora de Nazare, which is a 17th century church right up here. And it remains an important religious relic and pilgrimage destination, as I've mentioned. So the devotion to Nossa Senhora de Nazare has spread throughout the country and even to Brazil. So I need to be a bit careful when I talk about this because this means a lot to a lot of people. Just before I carry on with the geography of Nazare town itself, I just want to mention that the traditional dress of Nazare's women, which are 7 skirts, each representing different aspects of life, like days of the week, waves of the sea, etc., is one of the most recognizable folk costumes in Portugal. And if you'd like to find out more about Nazare's history, just go there, and I've left a list of museums in the description because it's great to go and explore this stuff. The port of Nazare with the marina is vital for safe fishing and leisure, surfing expeditions. Previously, the locals would fish from the sand and launch their boats from the beach in the protection of the point. As is normal in Portugal, the construction of the port took a long time, being conceptualized in the 60s and opening in 1983. Now there are 3 main neighborhoods in Nazare. Sítio is up on the cliff, Pedaneira to the southeast, and Praia, which is essentially the main town of Nazare. The current bullring up on Sítio was built in 1891 after a fire destroyed the previous one, and they host at least 4 bullfights in July and August. Generally, Nazare is pretty small, and obviously we didn't spend that much time here, so you can explore it a lot if you go down there and just spend a beautiful summer enjoying fish on the beach and going through parties and stuff, because as I said, there are about 10,000 people living in Nazare, but during the summer months that escalates radically to about 40,000 apparently, and it does get very popular. Obviously it's popular in the winter as well with the surfing fraternity and people coming to watch the big waves, so it's definitely worth a look-see. It's a spectacular spot, so get on down to Nazare. Somebody who helped us a lot in Nazare was a guy called Enoch, who's got a YouTube channel called Chasing the Sunrise, and an Instagram channel as well. And I had an interview with him, and it was great. We had a lovely long chat right down next to the marina in the port. But unfortunately, my brand new DJI microphones, I hadn't configured them correctly. So as a result, the audio was non-usable. Anyway, it was great to meet him. And if you do need anything in Nazare, just look up his channel and maybe get in touch with him. So have a fantastic week. And next week, what we're going to do is Nick and I are heading down to Sintra, continuing our first trip filming for the Portugal Unlocked series, talking all about the King's Getaway from Lisbon. So Sintra is a romantically beautiful historical spot. So looking forward to exploring Sintra with you guys next week. Have a great week. AlgarveAddicts.com. We'll see you next week, but if you need any help relocating to the Algarve, click through to our website, algarveaddicts.com. We offer tours, immigration assistance, long-term rentals, and we can buy you a house.